In this demo, I will install and show you the Blue Ocean UI. So I'm going to go to Manage Jenkins to install the Blue Ocean plugin. So Blue Ocean is a new project that rethinks the user experience of Jenkins. It's designed from the ground up for Jenkins Pipelines and compatible with freestyle jobs. Blue Ocean reduces clutter and increases clarity for every member of your team. So this is the one I'm going to install. Then we just have to wait a few seconds for Jenkins to restart. Once the plugin is installed, you see this button here, Open Blue Ocean. And this is going to bring us to the new Jenkins UI. So you already see it's a much fresher look for your Jenkins. So here you have your jobs, and if you, let's say, click on the Slack notification, remember that this build failed. So we have here our first run, and we see a test has failed, and then this shell script sent a Slack message. So it's a total different UI. You just have to get a little bit used to it. You have to click a little bit around to see how it differs. But it's built from the ground up, and it will one day replace the normal Jenkins UI. So now I just restarted it. And then you see when it's building, it gives you a blue background. When it's failed, it gives you a red background. And then this is how you go out of it. You also see that you have the health, but you also have the branches and the PRs. So it's more integrated with the workflow that most developers have, a Git flow workflow where you create branches and you create pull requests to merge your features to the develop or the master branch. So it's much more intuitive as well. So if you do a new pipeline, it asks you where do you store your code, in Git or in GitHub, and then it's all much more nicely integrated, a much more modern look, and it should also be much easier for you to use it. If you are using GitHub, you can just straight connect to GitHub, so it pushes you to immediately connecting to GitHub and integrating your whole organization within Jenkins instead of job by job. You also immediately create a pipeline, so Jenkins is kind of abandoning the freestyle projects in favor of the pipelines. So I add my Jenkins course, and I click create pipeline. Then immediately it looks for the Jenkins file. So the workflow that I have been explaining is now default. So it says you should put a Jenkins file in your repository to then use this repo. So let me give you the example with Gradle, github.com. And here I have a master branch with the Jenkins pipeline. So this is automatically going to run. So now you see it running. We have a green background. Let's say that we click on configure. It brings you back to the old UI. So it has not yet fully been integrated. It needs some work, but this is definitely the future of Jenkins. I would suggest you install this plugin and start using this workflow as much as you can. Also, if you close this and you go back to Jenkins, even if you go to administrator, you will be redirected again to the old one. So the UI is still a little bit limited, but they are working on it and they still push a lot of updates. So what I would do is I would use this plugin, but also keep always your plugins up to date so that you get the latest version. If you want to go out this UI, you just click this button here, and then you're back in the old one. So that confirms again that the workflow Jenkins is pushing you towards is really the Jenkins pipelines with a Jenkins file. And I think that is also the best way of using Jenkins. The best way of using CI is to put everything in code, make sure that the configuration is stored in Git or any version control so that you have your build configuration for the CI bundled with your project, that you have a history, a backup, a changelog. You can easily roll back if something breaks. So that's it for the Blue Ocean UI.